just had Rory in chatting to us, and he seems very upbeat. Is that the general feeling amongst the squad going into the playoff?
Yeah, I think we're obviously it gives us an opportunity to get our league status cemented for next season. We're on a good run of form, but we're quietly confident in terms of where we are at the minute as a team, how we've progressed as a team. I think we've only had 2 defeats in 10 or 11, and one of them was in penalty kicks against St Mirren. And after those first sort of 3 games where we lost narrowly 1-0, the team have done really well. But the level of performances and the quality of the performances have been good. We've scored something like 28 goals or something since we've been in, and done really well, particularly recently. So, but we're not thinking this is going to be an easy, 2 legs. We're not thinking this is an easy tie. I see some people tried to put words in my mouth that we were bullish. We're not bullish. The facts are we're in a good run of form. If nobody can deny that. And Dundee are in a decent run of form as well, even though they lost, obviously to Wright. So we're happy where we are at the moment. We would like to have had enough points to stay up, but going into the playoff games, sometimes the team in that position can be in a downward spiral and a downward slide. But that can't be said about us. But I say that's not us, being overconfident or bullish about anything. We know what we've got to do. We've got ourselves in a position, and the playoffs gives us an opportunity to get out of that situation. So, unlike everything, we never ever underestimate the opposition.
28 years, Tommy, Kelly have been in the top flight. Just sum up how important it is for the club to maintain that status and find a way to remain in the Premiership.
I mean, the game's important for both clubs because, Dundee are a big club as well, and they probably have expected to be in the Premier League, and they've been in the Championship now for a couple of seasons. So, I mean, it's important. It's important that we stay in the league, and we've got to make sure that we do that. But it's also important that we have the players in the right frame of mind and take the pressure off them in terms of the enormity of the situation, and that's what we've tried to do.
You mentioned at the weekend you had already started your homework on Dundee to have ready should you be in this situation. Yeah. What have you seen from them this season and more recently that you have to be wary of going into these 2 legs?
Well, I've only seen them recently. Probably from about the last 6 weeks, we made sure that top 3 or 4 teams outside of Hearts were being watched, getting reports in them when we knew that it was down to I think Wright and Ferman and basically Dundee. I was able to go and watch them live because I've always liked to do that. So we've got all the preparation on them. We know hopefully we know what they're all about. They've got a blend of experienced players, some young players in Anderson who's come in and made an impact. They've got, I say, quality up front. Cummings, so they've got a bit of pace in their team. If Mullen was to play, and Mick Mullen as well. Bit of experienced players like McGowan, McGee's experience, Burns got experience. Charlie Adam provides that real quality for them. So they're a good side, but I say on recent form we think we're a good side, and we have put a huge emphasis on how we can affect the game. But at the same time, obviously, we are wary of what they can do.
Hi, Tommy. How's your team news looking ahead of tomorrow night?
No problems. Absolutely none. Everybody's available except, well, obviously Nicky Kabamba, but everybody knew about that. That hasn't changed.
Well, these games, I suppose, are about being able to hold your nerve and handle the pressure. We spoke to Kel Laffett a couple of weeks ago, and he was talking about how he thrives in the pressure. He thinks it brings the best out of him. that must be something that you sense throughout the squad, just given the way that the team has reacted over the last few weeks.
Yeah, because I said I don't think nobody can turn around and say we've played like a team that's been struggling at the bottom of the table. We haven't. We've dominated possession in a lot of the games. We've created lots of chances. We played in a certain style as well because of the players that we've got. We've not, went long or anything, which teams would tend to do if they feel that they're under pressure. But listen, both teams are under pressure. It's a big game for both, or big 2 games for both teams and both clubs. But we've tried to play down. And it is difficult at times to play down the importance and try to make everybody just feel that it's, relax and go in and just do what, we believe you can do.
You've got, I think, 2 or 3 guys that were at the club when the club was last in the playoffs. How important is their experience to be able to pass it on to the rest of the boys in the team and tell them what these games are all about?
Again, I think say there is probably 3 that have been involved. It's not something that we'll went out of our way and said, look, this is what we've got to do. We've just tried to treat it as normal games, and and I think that's the best approach. And all the time I've been here, in the position we're in, we haven't had crisis meetings. We've just tried to be as positive as we can with the players, and we think, well, it's worked to an extent in terms of the performances are better, and we've looked a really good side going forward. So it's obviously important that we'll allow them, but I don't think the players sit and actually talk about it in that much detail.
Just Tommy.
Cheers.
Tommy, hi there. How confident are you feeling then that Kilmarnock will be playing Premiership football next season with what you've seen recently from the team and the feeling around the club at the moment?
I'm quietly confident where we are at the moment, but with 180 minutes to go out and maintain those performances. So football can change quickly on a decision or anything else, but how the team is playing means we can go in the game feeling good about ourselves. Sometimes that doesn't guarantee you victory, but I'm hoping that it will, because I'm happy where we are at the moment in terms of how we're playing.
There's so much at stake for both teams, but do you feel Kilmarnock have the added pressure on them, given that?
No. Dundee's a big club, massive club, probably should be in the Premiership. Pressure is equal because the prize is the same for both teams. So no, we're not under any more pressure than what they are. As you say,
Dundee are a team who feel they should be in the Premiership, and they haven't had that in recent times. What do you make of the job that James McBake has done to put them in the position that they're in now?
If he's not going to win the league, he has to get into the playoff final, and he's done that. So he's done a good job. We've probably had a sticky spell at the start, where maybe people were asking questions on him, but he stayed strong, and he's got his team in a playoff final. But it's not really for me to comment on how good or bad a job he's done. He may feel if he doesn't get the playoffs, he hasn't done a good enough job. I don't know, but if you're not going to get promoted automatically, your next aim is obviously to get in the playoff final, and he's done that. But obviously my aim is to make sure that that's as far as it goes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Tommy, how much of your thoughts go as well just now towards the fans who would so desperately want to be part of these next 2 fixtures? How much will they be missed? Well,
I think the fans have been missed all season, and unfortunately, that it's obviously the right thing to have happened because of what's going on in the world. But yes, it'd be nice. I could imagine it'd be 2 full houses. Dundee would have probably sold out their ground, and we would have probably sold out ours, which makes for a better spectacle for live TV, better atmosphere for the players. So it is a big miss, because I mean the fans are, the lifeblood of clubs as well, not only from a financial point of view, but also from a point of view of the passion that they can bring to the game.
You touched earlier briefly on Kyle Lafferty as well, who we spoke to before, and says he thrives under this pressure. You'll be hoping that it's more of the same from him. How vital is he going to be for you in these next two games?
Well, the whole team's vital, because I mean Kyle can't do it on his own, so we need to keep playing well. If we do, we create chances, and that'll give Kyle an opportunity to score more goals. And he's done extremely well. But if you look at Saturday, and in recent weeks, the goals have come from other players as well, which is good. We don't just rely on Kyle. We've got other people who are more than capable of scoring goals and chipping in. So I'm just looking for a good all-round team performance in the next two games, and I think if they get that, we can make sure that we stay in the league. No way.
Good afternoon, Tommy. How important will mental strength be over the next two games?
It's important that people, don't get carried away with the occasion. It's important that you remain focused, but it's also important that you play well, because if you don't, it gives you an even less chance of winning. So yeah, it's important, but and it's important to, when maybe things aren't going so well for you, that you've got to dig in and you've got to be strong. And I think the run of form that we are in, most aspects of our game have been good. The players have been strong. They've went behind in games and come back. They've been on the front foot. They've had to play probably under pressure now for a period of time, and they've responded well, to that, because the performances have been really good.
And where would keeping Kilmarnock rank among your achievements as a manager?
I think it would rank as high as anything, because it's a different set of circumstances that I've had to come into, and a different usually I'm in the top six, so it will rank highly, because the situation when we came in, all the losses that they had before that, and we've managed to give ourselves an opportunity now in the playoffs to stay up.